Welcome back to Medrash Umaisa, sharing a story for this week's Parsha, which in Eretz Yisrael is Parshas Korach. Rav Ovadia Yosef Zatzal used to convene a gathering once a year of Dayanim from throughout Eretz Yisrael. This was a very elite gathering, Dayanim who dealt with the most complicated cases in Beis Din, cases involving monetary law, Chosh and Mishpat, cases involving family law, Even HaEzer. And every year it was an opportunity for them to explore problems and solutions and difficult cases. Rav Ovadia started off, as he did each year, exploring some complex matters of Beis Din law, and suddenly he seemed to shift topic. He spoke about Shabbos and how important it is to keep Shabbos, and what a bracha it brings to a home, and that even if it seems difficult, that a person can overcome those difficulties. He spoke about how important it was to send children to a Jewish school, a religious school, where they would learn about their heritage and be able to function as Jews. He spoke about the importance of learning Torah even a little bit every day. This went on and on. The Dayanim looked at each other, confused. Some started to worry that Rav Ovadia, who was no longer a young man, was having what some people called a senior moment, but it went on into a senior hour. At the end, he finished, and people stood up. One of his children approached him and asked him, "Why did you do that?" He said, "I looked around the room and I saw these Dayanim who were all great Talmidei Chachamim, but I also saw the videographer. There was a young man who had been hired to film the gathering and the drushes, and it looked to me that he had probably had very little Jewish education. I said to myself, when is he ever going to have the opportunity to hear the Divrei Torah he needs to hear to inspire him to connect to Judaism and grow in his Judaism? With all due respect to the Dayanim, they already know a lot of Torah. I had to take this opportunity in order to speak to the videographer. And if that will help him, it makes it all worthwhile." In doing this, Rav Ovadia was following in the footsteps of Aaron HaKohen. The Torah Devel Yo tells us something secret about the life of Aaron HaKohen, and the Shem Shmuel points out that this is one of the things that Korach missed about the greatness of Aaron and the difference between him and Aaron HaKohen. It says that after the Chet HaEgel, Aaron HaKohen was machzir al kol pischei Yisrael. He would go around house to house to Am Yisrael. Kol mish lo yodea likros Kriya Shema. If there was a Jew who didn't know how to read Kriya Shema, he would teach him. Mish eno yodea lispalel. If someone didn't know how to daven, he would teach him. Mish eno yodea lichnos begufa shel Torah. Someone who didn't know how to access Torah learning, he would teach him. And the Tana Devel Yo continues, this is not for Aaron Bilvad, called Talmid Chacham. Every Talmid Chacham is supposed to be doing this, teaching each Jew the Torah that's right for them, L'Shem Shamayim. In another place, the Tana Devel Yo brings the pasuk from Yeshaya, who tells us, Kitira Aram v'chisisa. If you see someone who is naked, you should clothe him. The Tana Devel Yo expands this to a person who doesn't know Torah. If you see a person who doesn't have Divrei Torah, bring him into your house. Teach him how to say Shema. Teach him how to daven. Teach him one pasuk each day, or halacha achas, or one halacha each day. This was the path of Aaron HaKohen. This was really a major theme in the life of Rav Ovadia Yosef Zatzal, and this is something that all of us can adopt and implement in our own way. Wishing you all a wonderful Shabbos Kol Tov.